wir mal ins Raumschiff und unterhalten uns mit unseren Freunden und Feinden. Against all odds of the unreliable takes flight. Unreliable. Ich weiß gar nicht mal, was das heißt. Ich habe noch nie ein englisches Wort namens unreliable gehört. Hört sich für mich an wie etwas mysteriös finden. Was in der Art. Die Raumschiffe generell in der Other Worlds haben die schon richtig fett gemacht. Also, die sehen richtig dick aus.
Crew members Ellie and Max are engaged in a heated discussion in the kitchen.
Da werde ich mich mal in die Küche begeben, Ada.
What you reading, Max?
If I tell you, will you leave me alone?
Probably not. What is it with you and books, anyway?
Some of us like to improve ourselves, Dr. Fenhill.
No, I mean keeping those paper books. You got the data pad. Why waste the cargo space? You one of those people who wears reading glasses to look smart?
Das war jetzt gemein, Ellie. Komm schon.
Captain?
Felix, wie geht es dir eigentlich?
Good to see you, boss.
Vicar?
Anything?
Ellie, was warst du jetzt so gemein?
Something on your...
Tja gut, dann haben wir noch ein paar Wanti, wo auch immer sie wieder steckt. Und der Roboter nämlich auch unbedingt mal reparieren. Oh, da haben wir eine Kiste bei ihm. Dankeschön. Ein paar Wantis unten, wie immer. Muss ich erstmal hier runterspringen, wenn das mal irgendwann funktionieren würde. Aber ich muss kurz tatsächlich auch eine Nachricht schreiben. Nachricht von Schwesterlein bekommen, das war gar nicht weggekommen. Ah! So. Oh, ich habe schon wieder so viele Waffen hier, Alter. Oh Gott. Das mal an, Alter. Tja, was machen wir dagegen? Gegen unser volles Waffeninventar. Und okay, dann gehe ich nochmal rauf zu Papa und liefere die Sachen ab hier. Ah ne, achso, das ist ja schon hier. Ups, ich muss 3 drücken, nicht 4. Ach, das sind gar nicht so viele Waffen. Also die Schrotflinte, eine Schrotflinte behalten wäre ja nicht schräg. Mal 53, Stufe 2 und das ist... Warum trage ich die mit mir rum? Wieso habe ich denn so komische Jagdgewehre in meinem Inventar? Ich muss mal das Jagdgewehr... Hä? Hab ich... Ach ja, stimmt ja, mir gefällt ja die Sniper mehr. Das ist eine viel geilere Sniper. Laugestufengewehr. Schaden 99. Ich glaube, ich lasse Jagdgewehr erstmal hier, weil die Waffe reicht mir, wenn ich ehrlich bin. Die Waffe ist eigentlich richtig krank. Ähm, 88. Oh, was haben wir denn hier? Schwere Waffen bis 5. Ja, was habe ich denn hier? hier aufgehoben sind. Wann habe ich das im Inventar? Felix, was für eine Rüstung trägst du mit dir? 31 Macht, Blocken plus 5. Ja, das ist problematisch manchmal.
Make yourself at home, Captain.
Ja, fühle ich auch. Ich würde mich aber auch noch gerne um andere Quests kümmern, wie zum Beispiel, Sanitärmaschine. Genau, wo finde ich den Säurereiniger? Du hast einen Haufen Quartierketten gefunden, Sam Kapitel. Ach, das finde ich in Roseway. Kann ich mich auf einen Stuhl setzen? Okay. Echt auf
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Ach so, das wusste ich nicht. Hätte ich das doch gleich nochmal nachgeschaut. Ellie bitte und Pavanti. Schöne Fern- und Nahkampfattacke. Ich muss was nachschauen. Wie ich denn das Einzelteil? Echt, da finde ich das? Ach, die Lagereinrichtung. Stimmt, ja. Ich werde jetzt aber wahrscheinlich wieder auf Widerstand treffen. Aber mit meiner geilen Sniper hier haben die hier keine Chance, ne? Zumindest ein wenig weniger Chancen. Da, 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 da. Frag mich, ob dort wieder Wachen sind. Sieht wohl nicht so aus, aber drin vielleicht. Kann die Vorsicht nicht genug sein. Oh, sieht das Schwert geil aus. Plasma Cutter. Slice, Dice, Cauterize. Boah, die Waffe ist echt geil. Oh, es gibt Angebote. Halt dich, den Ständer aufzuheben, die anderen Leuten gehören, nicht mal Diebstahl. Passt also. Naja. Ach wow. Ist ja nicht schwer gewesen, das hier zu finden. Also. Da 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 da. Burn. Vorteile, okay. Genauigkeitsabzug und Bewegung. Was, wenn du einen Gegner tötest, wird der Anzeige für die taktische Schaden, den du gibt's wieder richtig geile Fähigkeiten, Alter. Gewicht von Verbrauchsgegenständen. 50. Okay, dann will ich das wenigstens auf 50 bringen. Will ich gern. Ich habe mir gerade vorgestellt, dass vor mir eine Flasche steht. Warum? Okay. Was haben die den Schaden zu führen mit ein paar Waren, die erhöhten Schaden? Welcome to Worlds Neuer's garden. Welcome to taste the freedom. Welcome to taste to the freedom. Da, 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 da. Ja, dann machen wir jetzt mal eine Schnellreise. Kann ich mich auch noch weiter davon gucken. So, dann.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board?
Initiating initialization sequences. Greetings, customer! This SAM unit is unable to locate your registered information. Would you like to register your SAM?
Ja, bitte.
Registering new owner. Captain.
Willkommen in meiner Crew, Sam. Dann sag mal, wo du hergekommen bist.
SAM units live to clean and clean to live.
Warte mal.
Scanning
Sam,
for
bitte.
C2547. Grade rated contaminant.
Gute Arbeit, Sam. Sam, ich lasse dich aus meinem Dienstag gefallen.
Thank you. Sam! All SAM units travel fully assembled in a 12x12 corrugated steel box. Did you know SAM units are capable of equipping regulation-grade flamethrower nozzles? Upgrade your attachment today and get to firing away.
Echt? Wie mach ich denn das?
Got stubborn stains. Leave them for Sam. Dust accumulation analysis. Thank you. All cleaning tasks have been completed. Scheduling.
In 4 Minuten. Sehr, sehr interessant sein muss. Okay. Gleitaufträge. Bei ein paar Wandchen. Das finde ein Sicherheitssammel. Okay, gut. Zur Groundbreaker! Jetzt müssen wir fliegen.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Ja, natürlich verlasse ich meinen Chef hier. Ach, das ist echt ein Begleiter? What? Okay, das finde ich jetzt irgendwie komisch, dass das echt ein Begleiter ist. Also die Begleiter sind hier echt komisch gestaltet. Weil der Begleiter, ich weiß auch nicht, vielleicht gibt er mir tatsächlich noch eine Nebenquest. Okay, ich habe einiges auf Wasserfenster. Mal.
Hey, that pad down there, with the lights off?
Issuing sanitation ticket. Error. Refill printer. Thank you. Warning! Raptidon claws carry bacteria and have the potential to cause or...
You see we had a conveyor pull in?
Oh, hier ist tatsächlich noch eine Bar.
How's this work?
This is house
Do we get a table, stand in a corner?
scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Okay, so what are we drinking? You're the expert? Oh, and don't worry on the price. I got this. Let's just do it proper.
Du bist keine große, sondern wir sollten klein anfangen mit Bier. Ich würde mit Bier anfangen, aber in Adventure hast du gesagt, dass... Ach nein, wie wäre es mit Wein? Wenn du wirklich betrunken werden willst, wird Whisky am schnellsten wahrnehmen. Bist du sicher, dass du das tun möchtest? Du wirkst nervös.
Oh, no, that's on account of my not being able to sleep lately. Makes my hands all twitchy, you know? I've just been lying awake, thinking about what Junlei said, and feeling my heart shake.
So, mit was fangen wir wohl an? Bier, Wein oder mit Whisky?
Well, drunk's what I'm aiming for, so I'll take your word on it. Bottoms up.
Warning. Cleaning substance is flammable.
Oh, no, it's good. I'm fine. I just didn't expect it to taste like... Oh,
Ich
the
habe
pellet.
Treibstoff probiert.
Oh, stars, I can feel it settling. Oh, Captain. I'm pining for June like something fierce. What am I doing? You're funny. Yeah, I guess we're doing that, aren't we? Crewing together, seeing the stars. It's like something out of a serial. I like the ones with grand romances. And I think I'm flubbing mine. I don't know what to do about us. Well, she talked about another girl, right? Isabel. Mentioned her by name and everything, like she wanted me to know. Maybe I've been making a right fool of myself this whole time. Maybe she's not interested after all. It was real long and rambly. She was telling me a story about her dad, how a lady named Isabel did all sorts of things to try to win his favor. This Isabel lady never quite managed to get her dad's approval, but they carried on anyways. Made something good out of a bad situation. Then it all went down the tubes. Do you think Junlei still has feelings for her? I just got a lot of feelings, Captain, and they're all climbing up my throat. I need another drink. Right now. Before I lose my nerve. Water's for cowards. Okay, maybe you're right. I am a little woozy. Hydration, here I come. Oh, Captain, I want to talk to Junlei all the time. Even about silly things, but I'm so scared. You're swell, Captain, don't get me wrong. I like spending time with you, going on adventures and all, but that ain't the same as romance. Does she think I'm as pretty as I think she's handsome? What if she doesn't like me? What if she does? What if she's still got feelings for that lady, Isabel? What if we get together and she gets bored of me? Don't you tease me in my moment of weakness. You know I'm not interested in physical affection. Well, it's tripped folks up in the past. Folks I thought cared about me for me. What if she's not okay with that? What if she is, but then later, she's not? What if I can't make her happy? Yeah, I know you're right. I just wish it were that easy, is all. I'm not used to speaking free with folks. Back in Edgewater, there wasn't no one who wanted to know my mind. Excepting my dad. Gosh, I don't know that I got that in me. Sometimes I feel real mean inside, Captain. I think ungenerous thoughts. Yeah. I like the way you put that, like, it's okay to want to be better for her, and not impossible to try. Well, Captain, this has been a whole lot. I got just... wow. So much to think about. Oh gosh, I don't know, Captain. Do you think I should? Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask June out. Just as soon as we get back to the ship. I mean, probably. Eventually. Thanks for hearing me out and giving me counsel. And, well, for being a friend. It means a whole lot. You're good people, Captain.
Warning. Low battery! Unit is engaging reserve pack. While using the reserve pack, unit may periodically enter a rest cycle. If unit does not wake, consult Manual 81-X-C5.
Huh. All right. Thank you, guys. You're real good friends, you know that? I wish there was a place we could all live quiet together. Come on, let's go.
seeking relief from the heat? Till June Lay gets those radiators fixed, I've got the next best thing. Only the usual. Marauders all over space. You ever wonder how folk who can't figure the bleeding... What ain't I got?
Who's the sweetest boy? Who is it?
Error. Unable to process the specific customer service request. Please repeat the order.
Yeah, you are. Left hand, Captain.
Entering quiet mode.
Have you had a moment to look into that little opportunity I took? You don't hurry up. What's that? Speak up now. What'd you turn up? Well, that's just swell, sweetheart. Good for you. A shame you didn't visit old Gladys first. That would have fetched a good price. I may have thrown in a batch of my famous sugar cookies just to sweeten the deal. If Auntie Cleo's exporting wraps from Monarch, golly me, someone's going to be in the soup when they get caught. Bless your slippery little fingers. Isn't that just a shame? Prototypes can... Darnation. It sounded like a gold mine, but maybe that's just my old hopes getting in the way. I suppose it can't be helped. Law bless you for doing the legwork, sweetie. Don't forget your pal Gladys now. You can come visit anytime. Fantastic. Do be careful with it, dear, as these keys tend to be a tad hard to acquire. You should have a chat with Lilia Hagen in the sublight offices. She's a dear. You'll love her. Now, was there anything else? Anytime.
I'm gonna be able to set foot on a... whole other planet? I know Monarch's a moon. I think it counts anyhow.
Area analysis is as follows. Significant dust and spore. Concentration. Vacuuming estimate. Calculating. Calculating. Calculating.
company?
Look at this ripe piece of meat.
Is it?
You came with the
Schon mal
crew?
geführt.
Woo! Look at the courage on this one. Lay it on me, boss. Give me a taste of that fiery primal spirit. Passing through? This is dead-end territory. But you talk like you're on a journey. The second floor is my place. Off limits to the likes of you.
Dirty. Dirty. Dirty.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? He hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
Oh, was bist du denn für einer? Du bist ja genauso wie meiner fast, nur dass du größer bist. Und nicht so modern aussiehst.
It's so cozy.
Wenn Schiffe jemals fliegen sollte, dann brauchen die das hier.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. That may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow. Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators. McRed got me all distracted sucking fumes and talking about the cosmos. I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger.
Was soll denn das jetzt? Ich brauche die Teile da. Nein, wie komme ich da jetzt hoch? Ich kann das nicht, wie ich da jetzt hochkomme.
Look, Red gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Ah.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as
Not
crazy
another
as he
step in
is.
that direction, friend.
It takes crazy.
Verdammt nochmal! Das war nicht geplant, wenn ich ehrlich bin.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
You came...
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back with the crew. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute. Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. Lead bones, asbestos muscle. Maybe you're right. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the part. Lay it on me, boss. They rejected it again, didn't they? I thought I could take my fungus garden and go corporate, you know? Damn! Well, maybe I'm better off.
Rizzos wouldn't know innovation if it bit him on their backsides. You're a natural inventor, Mr. McRed. Don't let him get you down.
Kind of you to say, engine gal. You're a lighter in dark times. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. Scrapped for parts. That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank. You can come...
Smells kind of like old Bess's outflow pipes.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
You're the...
It's my birthday.
Oh, yeah? Fuck your birthday.
Richtiges Arschloch.
May's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
McRed gave me a taste of the good.
Gehen wir doch, vielleicht haben wir noch immer mal was zu tun mit den Banditen da unten, die im Keller stöbern, um Vergebung suchen.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radiators, and here we are. If every repair was a one-woman job, I wouldn't need an engineering team. As it is, my staff is busy keeping the station from melting down. You can flip a switch for me, but you can't install these parts. Not quickly, at least. Not on the first try.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Aha. So, fragt ihr jetzt nur noch, wie ich dahinter komme, zu diesem Wartungsschacht. Ah, hier wahrscheinlich.
Whoops, hold on there, Sam. You got some schmutz on your chest.
Did your SAM unit get dirty on the job? Simply initiate SAM's self-cleaning mode. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Nuh-uh.
Sanitization incoming! Good news, customer. All germs and contaminants have been neutralized.
Eine Manti-Larve. Wowie.
Keep that nozzle to your own self.
Booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill. Sneak back.
Wowie, and okay.
Phil!
You got it, Captain! Sorry! I'm ready for this! Fired.
Object is soon to be specialist.
Nice one!
Sam cleans it up.
Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
Oh, da schauen wir wieder.
Reminder. Issuing Senate.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Lot. He seems like a nice boy to me. I'm glad you gave him a shot. Yeah, but I got a good feeling about him, is all. I mean, sure, he's a bit rough around the edges. I bet he just needs somebody to show him a better path. That's not exactly what I'm saying.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I really do. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. Family recipe. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income. Flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. You've got my...
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast. Special vodka. Aftertaste for
Grease stains detected traveling on... an organic substance. In the immediate... vicinity.
I just washed these coveralls last week. They're still spick and span.
Preparing degreaser nozzle for deployment.
Sam, don't you dare. Sam, I see you pointing that thing my way. What did I just say?
Cat. So, cleaning schedule?
Nothing wrong with a little mess. But I appreciate the gesture, I suppose.
Keep your sights out, friend.
Got it. Heads down. Wow, you got that?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
You ever think about death?
You won't find a more highly... effective nor highly efficient automechanical fire... tuned to neutralize noxious contaminants on Halcyon's market. SAM units are reliably certified at killing filth dead.
We gotta be put in this universe to do more and kill. We gotta.
Das erläutert mich schon um einiges. Ah, die Kisten hier, ne? Was ist das für Server?
Somebody can fix this up, but looks like they ain't been here.
Okay. Da, ach so. Einmal ich habe die Leichen vergessen zu durchsuchen. Nimmst du mal? Prisma aber.
Disorder. Is displeased. Order will be achieved.
Boah, guck dir mal dieses fette Teil an, Alter.
My plants, Sam?
Cannot process the command watering.
I mean, cleaning. You've been cleaning my plants? Either of these...
Sanitization of photosynthesizing organisms is outside of this unit's operational parameters. Service cannot be rendered as requested.
Against all odds, Neuer takes flight.
Well, I did not expect you back so soon, Captain.
Greetings, customer.
Jetzt bist du doch da.
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities? Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplation of the universe's secrets, you sometimes get a sense for these things.
Ist die Kühe wieder weg. Nein, nicht die Leiter.
Hey, Captain. I hope I wasn't too much bother at the bar. I did have fun, and I tried some things I never would have otherwise. Though, that whiskey did give my head aching something fierce. Feels like a primal's chewing on my skull.
Was ist denn ein Truckler?
I messaged Junlei when we got back, and she replied super quick. Okay. I was awake half the night, thinking about what I sent, anxious to see what you said. I reread my message in the morning, and it was unclear. I was drinking when I sent it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had the courage. Also, sorry for the typos. Oh, she called mashed potatoes smashed potatoes, but I think maybe that's just what they call them on Groundbreaker. I've ruined things in the past because I didn't say things I should have, like, I've met someone who's become special to me. I want to be honest with her, so if she feels the same about me, there won't be any surprises. Oh, isn't she sweet? Those two-bit romances where one soul's all stiff and formal, and I should be glad to perhaps take hold of your hand. I ought to go write her back. I mean, I already did.
Welcome back, Captain. Now that you have acquired a nav key to Stellar Bay, would you like me to contact Dr. Wells? I don't believe so, Captain. Transmission incoming.
Well done. You'll love Monarch. Exotic climate, violent native species, fascinating culture, really. You'll need to speak with Hiram Blythe. He's known as the information broker, and for good reason. If anyone knows where I can find those chemicals, it's Hiram. I need those chemicals to revive the Hope's colonists. They can help us fight back against the Board. They can help us set things right. If we don't put a stop to the Board, they're going to drive this colony toward a complete societal collapse. You'll see what I mean when you arrive on Monarch. You'll want to hire the services of a skilled guide. I recommend a hunter by the name of Nyoka. Frequents the drinking establishments of Stellar Bay. Very hard to miss. Once you have everything you need, make your way to Hiram Blythe's compound. Come see me in my lab. I'll answer any questions. Best of luck.
Ich stelle ihm noch ein paar Fragen und dann werde ich erstmal gehen. Guck mal da. Olympus, Iridianus, Tartarus, was ist das da? Taipun und Scylla. Ah, jetzt halt.
Arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
möchte meine Waffe testen, ne?
Mega messy.
I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with the board. Chairman Rockwell and his cronies are not your friends. They might tempt you with promises of wealth, but don't be fooled. What's on your mind? Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia. I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my youth. Not anymore. All board propaganda. I'd rather not be brainwashed. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too much work to be done. The Hope's colonists won't... Because we've lost our way, the board has a stranglehold over this colony, and we've all been conditioned into total obedience. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals like you, people who haven't been corrupted by the board. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades, well past your shelf life, so to speak. No offense. Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, according to the board and their narrow-minded scientists, you should be a pile of organic sludge right now. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. In theory, you never should have survived the revival process. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof that it can be done. There's yet hope for the Hope. Get it? We'll do our very best to save them all. I'd best get back to work. I can feel my last dose of caffeinoid fading.
Vielleicht will Finn jetzt auch nur über die Macht über Halbtieren haben. Vielleicht ist er auch nur ein großer Hintergedanke und er will nur die Macht über Halbtieren haben und den Vorstand stürzen. Somit, dass er die Macht über Halbtieren kriegt. Kann natürlich auch sehr gut sein. Wir begeben uns noch eine Monarch und dann speichern wir. Oh nein, das Backtraum. Nein! Ich hänge jetzt im PSM-Menü fest. Oh, ich muss erst mal 1000 Jahre warten. Okay, das.
Where are we headed today, Captain? The stars are the limit. We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
Auf nach Stellar Bay. Monarch mit höherer Medizinfähigkeit. stinkt doch was. So, Trophäe anschauen. Was ist das? Wildnis von Monarch. Oh, da kann ich aber nicht runterspringen, das ist gefährlich. Oh, was? Muss ich jetzt einen Aufzugknopf drücken oder was?
Watch yourself, you're hurt!
Ganz, ganz knapp.
Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? I knew it. See, I made what you'd call a logical deduction. You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic. Us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records.
Ich reise inkognito.
Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly.
Wie beruhigend.
We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Oh, sure. They make Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that subject. Kinda goes over my head, though. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters... Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do... I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tosswell poster coming in on the next sublight shipment. Signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Seal? That's Bertie Holcomb. Only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever. Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You been living in a sulfur pit or something? Oh, you're real funny. Guess I don't feel so bad for missing what goes on in the rest of Stellar Bay. I couldn't really say, I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less valuable they are. And I figure my poster's been passed around by more than a few people by now. Thanks a bunch. Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building.
Meins. Meins. Meins.
We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rats keeps us on our toes.
Monarch.
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here. light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peels, a worker earns his meals.
Well, well. Isn't often we see new folk in Stellar Bay. First drink's on me, stranger. Enjoy. If you plan on sitting through Nyoka's stories, you might could use a few.
I could use a few and telling them myself.
Now what can I do for you? Anyone who spends any amount of time in this bar is bound to get to know Nyoka, on account of her being here so often herself. And I don't mean that unkindly. Anyone who's rid us of as many beasts as you have is entitled to a few drinks. Something else I can do for you? Not since Amber Heights. These days we have more leaving than coming. Off to join the Iconoclasts or some such. Thought it had a fancy ring to it. Name's the first advertising anyone sees, after all. Nope. But a man can dream.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood, so it's sliding all over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you? Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you? Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger? Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats? Let's talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
You won't find a better deal in Halcyon than our special one-time offer for a refurbished sanitation unit. Remember, if it's dirty, it's a job for Sam.
What in the... That thing talks?
Slebby.
Does Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her.
With Brack's missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by any time you like, hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the pleasure of new company. What can Auntie Abigail do for you? And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits.
Whiskey helps, too.
Please leave medical advice to the professionals. Now, dearie, who's this pickup for? I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve. Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will... Isn't it just? I'd make an exception for you if I could, my little cherub. Is there any...
Don't blame me if I puke on your shoes.
Aren't you? I may not be a fresh young thing anymore, but with age comes experience, dearie.
Ich will dir ganz sicher nichts sagen.
Much as I'd love to, my rheumatism is a special... But I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. You... Now, there's no keeping secrets from Auntie Abigail. I'll teach... Also, I really do have to enter someone's name for the allotment. After all, I have to keep track of... Now, dearie, it is my job after all.
Something...
Hello again, dearie. She works over at the fishery next door. Quite... Why, just the other day, I heard her shouting from here. Oh, but here I go again, running my mouth. What can I... And who's your... Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute, like the... Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I'm afraid it'll be the better part of a month. Our dear Nyoka, believe me, Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them. Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his. The one upstairs, where we store our medicines. In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of an... The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to it. Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen. Chin.
Wrap my... and painted eyes, right here.
Could I... get another advance, Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others. Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today? Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else. Sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. I couldn't. What if he says no? Hey, maybe you could ask him for me. I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's... Plus, he's got... Good to have standards, I guess. I know what I'm looking for. You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny. Not in Stellar Bay. Everyone else who isn't taken either smells like salt tuna or they're my boss. Besides, a man with a good smile and a proportionate upper to lower body ratio isn't something to pass up. Sorry.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
Nein, du hast ein Meeting mit mir.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very Generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Halcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but... Surviving alone isn't as easy as it looks. Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
Ingenious plan? Don't get me wrong, I'm starting to admire your sand, but I bet you could overcomplicate a sisty sandwich.
What a charmingly roguish turn of phrase. Allow me to express my...
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended. With a Bolt 52 cartridge, of course. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush. I'll need to gather some supplemental materials, but I mustn't get ahead of myself.
You do tend to do that.
The Bolt 52 will be in the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in. And these days, it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Do be careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate. You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But if you insist on going, I'd recommend taking a local guide. Nyoka would be a...
If you can keep her...
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes. I've asked myself the same thing many times. Especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
You see what I have to deal with?
For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1. As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out. Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to, but there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up. It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. We learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. That's what I thought. But the senior executives laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2 along with everyone else. In a manner of speaking, many of us stayed behind in an act of quiet but firm defiance. As the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI.
Must have pissed off some real big suits to get stuck with that.
On the contrary, I wrote lots of very important reports on behalf of top MSI officials before I was able to achieve this position. I moved forward with our planned reforms as well as our... Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as law.
Hä? Über was unterhalten wir uns hier eigentlich gerade?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws. I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
If you can't beat him, might as well join him and reach into their pockets.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. Indeed, we've got to consider realities, not ideals. If membership on the board can ease our hardships, and besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our...
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows, perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations. It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous. For the greater good. Allegedly. Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to... What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Mann, war das gerade anstrengend, das Gespräch.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. But I'll warn you, Grimm wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Okay, ich will jetzt noch diesen anderen Landerplatz austesten.
Good, you're back. Not that I missed you. I assure you, I am not capable. We're in such emotional Cascadia, Captain.
Ich möchte aber schauen, ob das jetzt was anderes ist hier. Ups. Ob Cascadia jetzt ein anderer Ort ist als Monarch. Ob das jetzt war, dass Cascadia dieser Ort ist, wo voll überrannt ist und Monarch. Rüstung senkt den Schaden. Das weiß ich. Das ist eigentlich der wertvollste Tipp gewesen, den es überhaupt gab hier. Ah nee, das ist der Silberort, nur auf der anderen Seite jetzt. Okay, schade.
Hey, Sam, tell a dirty joke.
Command not recognized.
Fine, tell any joke.
Please repeat the instruction.
Get screwed, Sam.
Request is invalid.
Ach, Jungs. Jetzt speichern. Und den anderes mal zurückkehren.